It's time for shopping and restaurants in China. And today we got a longer episode, just like last week. We had 124 slides on the PowerPoint last week, and this week we've got 122. That's because it's been vacation time, and so doing more visiting and traveling. We can see it's episode 32. We've got some interesting texture there, and this was last week, January 26th to 30th. So maybe it's this week if you consider Sunday to be the last day of the week. Sunday, January 26th, exactly 1 week ago, we did the farmers market shopping and supermarket shopping. And in the farmers market, we got a bunch of bananas and a large bell pepper. Doesn't that look nice? Nicest bell pepper I've ever seen. Shiny and big. And then we got some romaine lettuce and some broccoli. Now this romaine lettuce did have a bunch of bugs inside, so I had to wash it and then just get rid of the part that I didn't need. Then at the supermarket, I got a frozen pizza for the first time in China, and this is beef teriyaki, imported original mozzarella cheese, and it has a minion on the front. It also has grain-fed beef, stone oven pizza, and so that's good. I also tried beef for the first time. This was pretty good. I baked it and had it with part of my meals. I got some wraps, some eggs. They have the snake on the label because it's Year of the Snake now. And I had some fish cakes. Had these several times before. Very good. And these crackers, spring onion flavor. And then I had Perrier, French mineral water. Does anyone like mineral water? And then a large bag of chips. I'm not sure what kind of chips they are. They tasted good. Almost like barbecue chips, but not as spicy. And then we got the global mushroom. And this was the result. So we can see the whole shopping trip was, for both places, was $24.61 and 178.29 RMB. And we can see the prices, the broccoli and lettuce together was 97 cents, bell pepper 33 cents, bananas, it was about 15 bananas, pretty large, 231, mineral water from France, 76 cents. That pizza was the most expensive thing I've bought in a while from the supermarket. $5.23, the wraps $2.06, mushrooms 83 cents. They went back down. Last week they were $6.98. Now they're $5.98. Fish cakes, they've been the same price for a while, $19.99. Steak, first time I bought it, so I don't know if it's been going up or down. But $29.23, decent sized steak. If you're really hungry, you could probably eat it in one meal. But I used it for 4 meals, and the crackers, all those packets of crackers, $1.50. Eggs, 10 eggs, $1.52. And then that large bag of chips, $2.33. It was a little bit more expensive than I thought it would be, but that's it. In January finished, so the total for the month, we went shopping 6 times, and the grocery shopping for the month was $64, 466 RMB. Now, Monday, I went on an adventure to Baiyun Mountain, and then I had dinner at home. We had the pizza and those chips and bought a couple drinks, but we'll see that later. We begin the day at 9:17 in the morning. Went to have breakfast first. I wanted to have a filling breakfast, so I went to Burger King. It was open at 9 a.m. I wasn't sure if it would be, but it was mostly empty. There were those 2 people, and more people came in because it was the only place open. And here's a look at me waiting for the burgers. Burger King takes a lot more time to get your things to you than McDonald's here in China, but it's all right. Here's what I got. It was 74 RMB, $10.21. And what did we get? We got this thing. I wasn't sure if it was pork or chicken, but it was decent. It was like a sub sandwich and then a double chicken filet burger, or sandwich, I guess, not a burger. And then the fries, of course, not as good as the the McDonald's fries, but they're pretty good. And then I had a coffee. I almost never drink coffee, but decided to have a small coffee to start the day. And then I had to get ready to go to Baiyun Mountain. So I looked online for the different routes, and there are 3 options. So you can go for a short route, you can go for a lazy route, and you can go for a long route. So I decided I would do the long route. And that means I did Route A, go into South Gate, and slowly making the way up to the, I think it's Moching. Of course, in English, it looks like Moxing, but the Moching Summit. And then you can go back down to West Gate, or you can go all the way back to South Gate. Depends what you want to do. Now online, it said it was supposed to take, these 7.2 kilometers was supposed to take 5 hours. In the end, it didn't take me that long. This was the weather outside in Hwadu, and you can see it's really windy. Those things are blowing around, and I was a little bit worried how cold it was going to be on the mountain, but it was actually pretty warm. Here's the route. This was at the entrance. There are several maps there. I took pictures. I always take pictures of the maps when I'm hiking, but I actually didn't need them. And here's arrival at the South Gate. There's another Western foreigner there. I saw him from time to time. I went down to the bottom part of the cable car place first. You can see these cable cars coming in. And the area. And then I took a view of them coming and going. There we go. I decided I was going to walk all the way up and then come back down to the cable car and ride it, at least to try and see what it's like. I could obviously walk the whole way. But anyway, if you go the pedestrian route, the walking route, and skip the cable car, it costs 5 RMB to enter, which is 69 cents. And this is a look at the beginning of the pedestrian route. You can see you can walk on the actual road. And this road goes all the way to the top until you get to the Moching Summit area. You can also go up the stairs through the forest. These are pretty steep stairs. But this route, I think, gets you up there faster. I saw a giant stone with a bunch of writing on it. No idea what it said, but here we go. Along the way, you see places like this for resting. There's also a cafe, a couple of cafes along the way to buy snacks and things. Now, another way is some of the route, it says danger ahead. You can go on these dirt paths. It's not all the way up, and there's just certain parts of it where this is an option. But I decided to try it. Walking the nature trail. It's quite exciting. And then it comes out. This is attached to the stairs. It's a, paved, not paved, but it has a bunch of nice walking area with benches. You can walk through the forest. Now I went down off the trail to go to the Nengren Temple. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but you can see the name. And this was the entrance. I think it must be a Buddhist temple, because in the end there were giant golden Buddhas, so it seems like it must be a Buddhist temple. And there's the foreign guest again, like myself. He had a selfie stick, which I didn't, but who needs that? They had a nice little pond there. And then there was another entrance, very nicely decorated. And this was also around New Year's time, so there were lots of decorations. This is just a nice view of the pond from above. A discussion there, and there's a large lantern there, and there was this tray where you could put out this stick after you lit the flame, I think. Now, I didn't film inside because I always like to not film inside religious places once you get to the actual, prayer place or worship place. But there was a giant stand with a bunch of candles and then that same tray where you could put out the stick of flame. And then inside there were a bunch of golden Buddhas, really large golden Buddhas, and then there were prayer seats and some decorations and whatnot. And that was what was inside. Now let's continue. As I left there, I just looked at the forest and the sky. Thought I'd take a peek at the sun. Wow, that's bright. Now back on the trail, various views. So you can see the view of the city. And you can actually see the Tower of Canton there. That's a nice view again. What do you think? Is it a nice view? Well, let's see. This was another view, vertical view. And then this was just below the Shanding Square. And this is arrival there. You can see some nice infrastructure and architecture. And this is the first main viewing area. You can see a nice view, and once again you see the Tower of Canton. I think I took a picture and then circled where it is so you can see. So that is the Tower of Canton. Kind of unique look. And in future videos on this trip you'll see it there, including this one. There we go again. The Tower of Canton. Now I took a panoramic shot. And another one. And then this is the actual square. A lot of restaurants there and places to sit. They had a bathroom. And they also had KFC. KFC is really popular in China, so not a surprise. And that's also where you can take the cable car. If you take the cable car from the bottom, this is where it will go. You can skip all that walking. You can also take it from here back down. If you come back down from the top and go this way instead of towards the west gate. Now we continued. There's a road. A road going upwards. It was heading to a villa, a hotel area. But I didn't see that. Just more views, and this was a fountain. Nice dragon heads, I think. And this is that same area from the above. Nice ceramic bamboo, or maybe it's made of stone, I'm not sure. And then I found this book. It has a story. And it has a translation in English, so I tried to get a picture and then look at it up close. It's kind of hard to read though. But it's talking about a guy named Zhang, an alchemist. From the Qin period, he devoted himself to herbs on Baiyun Mountain. He was using them for sickness and to save patients. Anything else here? It's really hard to read, so I'm not sure. It didn't appear to be well maintained, or to have, maybe to re-ink the inscription so it's easier to read. Or to have a clearer stone, like a lighter color, so you can actually read it. But there's more information another guy from the Song Dynasty. He built a pavilion or something here. And then Chen Zizmiang, I'm sure he was a general of the late Ming Dynasty who resisted the Qing Dynasty here. And then there's some other information. An anti-Qing imperial general in the Nanming Dynasty. This guy, Zhang, can't read the last part. He formed some type of association in Baiyun Mountain. Not sure what it says. Pole? Can't read the word, but then there's more information. Someone here, Chen Bangyang. I can't read it. He was good at writing poetry and something else. Anyway, it's just very hard to read here. But what else can we gather from this? There was Li Maijiao from Panyu, who was good at landscape painting and poetry. So it seems to be a trend of poetry here. And then someone was a singer and dancer, and she was in a poet association. She died at 19 and was buried at the Plum Blossom Depression in Baiyun Mountain. It was called the Grave of Flowers. And then Zhang Weiping from Panyu, local government official in Hubei, and was at Jiangxi, a bunch of other locations. Built the pavilion at Baiyun Mountain. They're called the Seven Gifted Person Poet Association. Okay, I've got a couple more things. Anti-French war general in the Qing Dynasty, Feng something, can't read the word. He was buried somewhere in Baiyun Mountain. And then Liu Yong something, can't read it, general of the Black Flag Troop and fought against France in the Qing Dynasty. He lived in Shahe Town on the foot of Baiyun Mountain. He carved a Hu character in Nangrang Temple. That's where we were earlier. And that's it. That was a difficult read, but it's probably old and not well maintained, so that's what you can expect sometimes. So we continued, came to another pavilion, and it was here. There was a crossroads. We could go to cliff engraving, or we could go to mountaineering corridor. So I went back from that other shot, and I took a picture of this, and then someone asked me if I need help. And so I told her how to get to the very top, and she said to go mountaineering to the mountaineering corridor. But I asked, what's in the cliff engraving area? Because I figured you could probably go to the cliff engraving and then go further up. And she said she had never been there. So let's go there. I told her I would go there and tell her about it if I ever saw her again, which I haven't seen her yet. What we found is large tablets with a lot of engraving on them. And some steps going up, up, up. And then there's a lot of rocks, also with engraving on them. Different words and things. And some nice barrier of safety with a nice carving. And giant rocks with engravings. Maybe even pictures. Now, it leads up to a cave. And this cave can be used if there's a lightning storm. I think that's what this is about. So we went inside. So a nice cave area. So this is what that woman missed out on by never going this way. So if you go the engraving way first, you can see this nice area. You get another view of the Tower of Canton there and the skyline. And if there's a lightning storm, you can go inside here and be protected. Or if there's a huge rainstorm, you could wait it out here. And there's a little bit of a cave pond. That's a really long video. I think I just did one shot for the whole cave. Some type of flower there. And then continue upwards. There was a house. I found Confucius. So I went to greet him. He told me some stuff. And after meeting Confucius, we went up to the final summit. And the entrance area, it costs 5 RMB to enter. And here's a look at that area. 5 RMB is 69 cents. And you can see Moqing Summit or Moxing Summit. And that house we saw might have been the Baozhang house or the Qun Yufu house. I'm not sure, but it was a nice house. And on the way up, if you're familiar with the, what is it called? The race, zodiac race, with the zodiac animals. So the first 12 winners of the race will get a zodiac year for themselves. So I looked at all of the zodiac winners. So this is the rat. And here is, who's this? This is the bull, or ox, as some call it. And this must be the tiger. He was 3rd place. And who is number 4? Number 4 is a rabbit. With big red eyes. And who is number 5? Number 5 must be, I think it's the dragon. And who is number 6? Number 6 is this year the snake. And the girl wanted to touch his mouth. And who's number 7? I think that is the horse. Who was ahead of the snake, and the snake scared him, and so he won 7th. And who's 8? 8 is the goat. Michael Jordan, right? And number 9 is the monkey. The monkey. The goats. And the rooster were all on the rafts to cross the river. So that's the rooster. And then who's 11? It was a dog who swam across. And the last winner was it a donkey? No. It was a pig, an eyeless pig. He has no eyes. And that's it. The zodiac animals. And there was this viewing platform that was actually closed. And then this is the entrance to another section. And this was just going further up. Moqing Summit. What happens is you run into this metal grated trail, almost like a trail in the sky. And it leads up to several escalators, which lead to more graded areas. They're a little bit precarious looking, but everything was all right. And then there's a view, lots of views here. And there's pictures professional photographers took. So I just took a quick shot of them after I look at the view. Okay, here's the night pictures from professional photographers. Professional photographers. Who can say it fast? All right, that's it. Back to the graded trail. Is this the summit? It might be. I think this is the summit. There are those nice lights. Yes, because there was this restaurant there at the top. We got another view. So this giant thing with messages and looks like padlocks on it. There's a cat up there. Some children with some lollipops. And they were looking at the cat. And the cat was just licking itself. Now on the way down, I just took the road straight down. I think it took an hour. It took 2 hours to walk from the South Gate to the Moching summit. And then it took 1 hour to walk on this road all the way down to the Shanding Square. And that's where I had lunch, and you can see the view I was looking at as I was eating lunch. Well, there's the bag with lunch inside. And inside we've got chips, crackers, a sandwich, and water. So here is the water. It's not strawberry water anymore, just a refilled bottle. And here is the sandwich. What's in the sandwich? Egg yolk and meat floss. Sandwich something. It was pretty delicious. And then spring onion flavor. You saw it earlier from the grocery shop. And then after eating, I headed to the cable car place. 20 RMB to go down. So again, 2 hours from Southgate to Moching Summit. And then 1 hour walking on that road down the Shanding Square, and then take the cable ride down for 20 RMB. About 3 hours round trip. And here is the cable car ride. We had some friends in there. It's very peaceful and relaxing.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's best to view from here. And here is another view. That one's messed up. But in a YouTube video, you should be able to see it.
Yeah. It is a primary school.
Primary school. Okay.
Yeah. In Huadu.
So you're teaching English?
Yes. To this age, maybe. How old are you?
问你几岁了？How old are you？你学过英语吧
How old are you?
？9 years.
7? 11?
9.
9. Okay. He is in primary school.
No.
And then another one.
你觉得我听得懂吗？
Third view of the cable car. You can see the tops of the trees and the skyline that you're heading towards. How long was it? It couldn't have been more than 10 minutes. It was a very relaxing, smooth, serenity-filled ride. Here's the final look. We flew over that pond we saw in the beginning. And we flew down, or we glided down to the final stop. And there's the final stop. And we finished at 2:28 p.m. Obviously, we started at the bottom at Southgate at 11 a.m., so it was actually 3.5 hours. Now I got home, and it was dinner time. I went to the convenience store to get some drinks. Watermelon Miranda, 4 RMB, 55 cents, and a bottle of what I believe was wine, $22.50, $3.11. As you can see, this wine was a little strong. I almost said expensive, but I mean strong. 13.5% alcohol content. Here's the pizza about to go in the oven. What are our directions? 220 Celsius, 12 to 14 minutes. And that's what it looks like. That was the dinner. What do you think? Would you eat that? Would you drink that? Here's another angle, looking from the point of view of the bottle. And which one do you think is better? 1 or 2? Go ahead and comment and let me know. Now, Wednesday, January 29th, I went on a bicycle ride, and I recently got a GoPro, so I thought I'd check out the Chinese back street roads in Huadu and the Huadu Flower Market. So the whole trip was 57 minutes and cost $4.80, which was 66 cents. But the tracking for the trip didn't work very well, as you can see from the picture. Now, the YouTube videos, I'm not going to show you the footage here because it's kind of long, but the footage we had was Deep Seek into the back roads of China, which is just showing the back roads. We'll have that video on YouTube, and then China's flower market, which is actually Huadu's flower market. I will have that video as a separate video on the YouTube channel. So you can check both of those out. And this is how you get to those YouTube channels. So if you're already following this channel, you don't really need to check out the poetry and books one because everything on there is here. But if you want to check the repost of the different shopping and restaurant episodes, or the back streets of China, or the flower market of China, then you can go to the Food and Travel YouTube channel, youtube.com/@TheSamGerman. And of course, you can follow me and watch live streams of these episodes. You'll see that before it appears on YouTube. And you can follow the YouTube or the TikTok for the poetry and books. And I also do the live reading of poems here 3 days a week, but those don't make it on the YouTube channel, only here. Only live. Once it's over, it's over. And it's over now. The end.